What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum, coming to you today with installment number 7 of my NBA 75th anniversary team collection. And I'm going to start off with the guy here that's front and center, a guy that sometimes played center, the Big E, Alvin Hayes. This is a guy that came into the league in 1968 with the Rockets and immediately led the league in scoring with 28.4 points per game, and he had 17 rebounds on top of that. That's pretty good. He put up similar numbers for the next 3 seasons before being traded to the Bullets in 1972, and there he went to the finals 3 times. He won a title in 78. I mentioned the scoring already. Well, he's 4th in career rebounds behind Wilt, Russell, and Kareem. So I feel like we'd be talking about this guy a lot more if he played somewhere like Boston or Los Angeles, but he didn't, so we don't. And that's part of the reason I'm happy to do this series. I feel like I probably haven't given him the respect in the past that I should have. And unfortunately, you could say that's representative of my Alvin Hayes collection, or lack thereof. I really only have 2 cards I want to show you today. The first off is his 1969 Topps rookie, where you see he's pictured with the Rockets. And then I also, of course, because he was in the 72 set, I have that signed with the Hall of Fame inscription. I wish I had a relic of him. There's not a lot of stuff out there. Most of it's player worn. The game worn stuff that's out there has been very hard to find so far, and I passed up on one that I wish I hadn't. So that'll be something I'm looking to add in the future. Up next, though, is a guy that I did get to watch, unlike Alvin Hayes, is Allen Iverson. And, I've talked about guys being undersized before and how that factors into the overall assessment of their career, or kind of our perceptions of them. Let's not forget that Allen Iverson was 6 feet tall. Or let's do forget it, right? Let's just disregard all of that. Still, this guy was a 4-time scoring champ. He was a 7-time All-NBA. He won the MVP in 2001, which happened to be the same year that he dragged, I guess you might call him a talent-starved Sixers team to the finals. And those of you that are old enough, you might remember that they won the first game and created quite the buzz. They went on to lose the next 4, but hey, they sure made things interesting. And then on top of that, he had a pretty profound effect on the culture of the league. It was kind of counterculture to the league that looked like David Stern wanted to maintain, at least. And I did a podcast about 2005-2006 Topps products. And at one point I talked about how Topps kind of was leaning in a different direction than the other manufacturers. Well, it was only fitting then that they hired AI as their spokesperson. A couple years ago, Bill Simmons did a Book of Basketball podcast about AI called You Had to Be There. And I can't think of a better way to say it. There's the stats, and then there's what you saw, which will all add up to create the totality of Allen Iverson. And I don't have a lot of AI in my PC right now. I have this completely hulked out 1996 Topps Chrome PSA 7 rookie. I've had some nice Iverson stuff that I picked up in collections. I know I had a Youthquake. I had New Editions. I might still have that one. I had a Thrill Seekers at one point, but all that stuff's really gone into my show inventory. I'd like to add a nice patch, but that's probably about it. Not big on AI like a lot of people out there. Okay. Next up, well, let me preface this. I know LeBron is next alphabetically, but I'm going to save his stuff for the end. I've got a lot of LeBron stuff down here, so it would just be too hard for a player to follow that. So let's talk about another Laker, Magic Johnson, who was, one of the all-time greats still. There's a lot of stuff that I said for Larry Bird that can be said here, and that's fitting because, we've never had a pair of superstars in the league that came in and had a similar effect or such a similar collective experience. And even, I talked about it, they're even on the same rookie card together. With that being said, though, obviously Magic had a career of his own. And at 6'9", this guy could play every position. He scored, he dished, he's 6th all-time in assists. He could do it all, and on the biggest stage, too. He won 5 rings, 3 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs. Then missed 4 seasons after his HIV diagnosis, and came back for a short stint around 1995, which is when I started watching, but I don't really have any vivid Magic Johnson memories. It wasn't Showtime at that point. Everyone was just happy to see him back. But there has been plenty of content created about him since, and I've enjoyed all of that. No, I haven't seen the new HBO series. I know people are asking me about that. I don't have access, but I will be watching whenever I can. So I already showed this off, and I showed it off in the Bird video as well. So I've got my PSA 5 rookie. Additionally, I've got, this is a refractor from his playing days. This is just a really cool card. One of the cooler Magic Johnson cards out there, I think. Kind of bridges that gap between the 80s and 90s. I've got this Topps patch from 2009 Topps, numbered 16 out of 50. I've got this throwback relic. I think that's I want to say 58 baseball set. Sorry, baseball people, if I mess that up. And then I actually pulled this card, which, I don't have a lot of just regular jersey relics, but I pulled this out of 2009. I think Hall of Fame was the name of the set. And this is supposedly a Dream Team worn jersey. So I thought that was a really cool historic pull, and it's, there's no shortage of them. There's 750. But that was definitely a PC card. Okay, next up, I've talked about a Lakers guy. Now it's time to talk about a Celtic. And let me quiz you here. Without cheating, without looking, there are two guys in the history of the league that won 10 titles or more. You probably know that one of them's Bill Russell. Well, who was the other one? Okay, well, it's this guy right here, Sam Jones. And it's funny, when LeBron made his last finals, they flashed a graphic with players that have reached 10 finals onto the screen. There's only 4: Russell, Sam Jones, LeBron, and Kareem. Now, that was just 10 appearances. Sam Jones won 10. He won 10 out of 12. And I know a lot of people will try and kind of downplay this accomplishment because he played with Bill Russell. He played with some great players. But Jones led the team, I should say, in scoring for 3 seasons. He was quick for a guard. He was a great shooter. Now, I've heard Russell talk a lot about how him and Sam Jones were just wired very different. And that drove Russell nuts because Sam Jones had this skill set to be legendary, but he didn't really have the demeanor to go with it. He didn't have that mentality, the Mamba mentality or whatever you want to call it. But on the flip side, when they needed someone to calmly sink a big shot in the heat of the moment, Sam Jones was their guy, and he was good at it. That's why he earned a clutch nickname, and that's why they got all those rings that I just talked about. So it worked well for them in the end. Not a lot of Sam Jones relics out there. There is kind of like a fleece warm-up jacket that Panini's been using. Even those pieces are hard to come by. I hope to get a nice multicolor patch in the future. The Celtics guys, man, they're ruthless. It's hard to get nice stuff of their players, and understandably so. It's their team. But I also have this beautiful autograph here that's, number one, the autograph itself is beautiful, but then the card is just very classy looking. It's an acetate card. It's got a great shot of him dribbling. Great design on the card, so happy to own that one. That's numbered 55 out of 75. Okay, last but not least, we've got the King, LeBron James. And let me start by saying this. You don't have to agree with all his social stances. You don't have to put him above MJ in the GOAT debate. You don't have to embrace the flopping or the theatrics. Even without all of that, you can still appreciate what he's done for the game. And I thought we'd see this guy slow down a lot this year, but he's got the scoring title in sight, and it looks like he's not stopping, so enjoy it. And I have, by the way. I am a LeBron guy. I'm not saying that I choose him over Jordan necessarily. I'm not going to make that case here today. But I am a LeBron guy. I'm a fan of what he's done. So I know records are meant to be broken, but you might not see a basketball achievement quite like the scoring title ever again in your lifetime. And you guys already know about the rings and the MVPs and all that. I got a ton of cards here, so let's just talk about the cards. All right. First up, I've got my BGS 8.5 Chrome Rookie. And the centering is the grade that brings this down. It's got an 8 centering, but then 2 9.5s and a 9. I've had people tell me, crack this and send it back in and get it resubbed, which I probably could. Even the back centering is not horrible, but that's not really what I do. I'm happy with my 8.5. Thankfully, I got this before everything got kind of crazy, so I'm happy with my 8.5. I've got a Wade 8.5 to go with it, so I probably just keep it as is. I've got this here. This is a 2003 Topps Rookie Matrix Mini Framed. Not a super valuable card, but cool little rookie, something different. That was a 1-year product. I've got this here, which is also something that's unique. It's his 2004 Fleer USA card. It's in that Fleer Ultra design, but this one actually features a piece, a multicolor piece too, of a practice jersey from the Olympics. So, and that's part of the G Gum program. You don't see a lot of those out there. So, and I think I got that at the time for like $35. So who knows what they're at now. Got another patch here, multicolor patch. This one with Larry Hughes. This was a $25 buy it now at one point. Thanks, Larry Hughes. I appreciate you, especially after being able to get this card. Got another LeBron patch here. I got that kind of cheap as well. It's got a little damage there. If you don't mind taking some damage on some cards, you can get some great pieces. I mean, you know, who wouldn't want an early upper deck Cavs patch of LeBron, right? Who wouldn't want that? And then I've got this piece right here. And I want to say, I think the Kenyon Martin's from an All-Star jersey. It talks about it all on the back, so very detailed back there, which is pretty cool. Oh, actually, the Yao Ming's a 2006 All-Star game. Kenyon Martin's 2004 All-Star game. So that's cool. Well, after the first run with the Cavs, he ended up with the Heat. This is a card I got in a binder. It's like a $75 binder, a 2012 Select. I sent it to SGC just to get it slabbed. You know, I'm not going to try and speak on value or anything, but the 2012 Prism Silvers, you're just not getting one of those now. So to me, this is the next best thing, and I'm okay with that. I think that's representative of that point in his career. I've got some other Heat stuff here that I really like. This is a game-dated patch. So this is, you know, this is the material that he's wearing in that picture from January 17th, 2013. A big game, too, by the way, 39-8-7. Ooh. We've got a quad jersey here with the Pacers. Not a huge card, but it's got Paul George and Dwayne Wade on there, and then George Hill, too. I can't say that with a straight face. I can't really put him in that same class, but this quad didn't get much better as far as picking a Pacer. Well, I say that. I mean, Roy had his time where he was a force in the league. So here's a quad patch out of Court Kings, and I believe this is numbered to 25. And guess what? I liked it so much, I went and bought a second copy. And people are like, oh, well, you moved the second copy? I kind of like hoarding stuff. So anyway, that was just such a fierce rivalry and a fun rivalry. And man, I miss those times. The Pacers have not won a playoff series since 2014. It makes me sick thinking about it. All right, so here I've got X Factor memorabilia from his second stint with the Cavs. It's kind of hard to see that. Just a big jumbo jersey piece. I don't even think that's numbered. But I got that at a show. I think I got that for $40 or $50. And then the big one here. I've done whole videos about this before. You can go back and watch them. But this is from LeBron's only Cavs title. A game-worn finals jersey piece. Which, you know, wow. That, to me, this is one of those museum pieces. This is just a really special piece of basketball history and of NBA history. So that's why I had to end with that one. I can't top that in my mind, at least not with the stuff on this video. So, all right, there you have it. Thank you again. New episodes of this series will come out on the YouTube channel every Friday. And also a reminder, there are new episodes of the podcast that will come out every Thursday. Thanks for watching.